Happy Tuesday. We are back, baby. I'm so excited to be here with my co-host. It's been what, almost 2 weeks, right? About 2 weeks,
Yeah,
roughly.
hi bestie, how are you?
Hi, bestie. I've missed you. There's so many
I
things
missed
going
you
on.
too.
WrestleMania passed. You were busy. I saw you all over my Twitter feed, all over my Instagram feed, TikTok feed. You are the MVP of WrestleMania, I have to say.
But did you like the fit and the shoes? Because that's what it's all about.
Yes. See, that's what it is. I
Okay.
loved you have a way of standing out amongst everybody else. What you wear, the colors, it's just you're a marketing genius. What can I say?
Joey, this is why we're like this, because you get me. I
Yeah.
was like, I know Joey's gonna be looking for me, so let me wear this bright Lakers yellow dress on night one because why not?
Yeah. And I
But
really
I
do
missed you. I
think
missed
that
you. I really wish I cannot wait for next WrestleMania when you be there so we can actually like make wrestling content together because I'm dying to do
yes,
that with you too.
that honestly, I've been looking forward to it for a while now. It's you're the best person to do that with. But you're also like Triple H's best friend now, so I don't know.
Yo, no, this
I don't
man
know.
like he just starts a conversation with me. Not even I hadn't even asked him a question yet. He just starts a conversation with me in the middle of answering another person's question, and I'm like, oh my! Everybody's staring at me. Everybody's laughing because they remember. He was like, "Remember, I told you we were gonna come to Puerto Rico." But my favorite thing was Roman Reigns acknowledged me at the press
He
conference,
did.
and
He
I
did. I
can
saw the
die
video.
happy. He
Yeah.
literally said they should have given it to you, referring to the question, and pointed right at me, gave me a little
Yeah.
smirk. I died inside. And not a bad dying. I died
Yeah.
inside because I wanted to scream and I couldn't. I'm like, stay professional, stay professional.
You know what I'm
That was
realizing?
awesome.
I'm realizing when because it's different for me. I'm watching from home on Peacock the press conferences, and there really isn't a lot of women doing what you
No.
do. Maybe there are. They're
There's
just not in
more.
that room.
There is more. And in the room, there is more. And when we go
Yeah.
off the air, I'll give you a little bit more details, like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember the first one that I went to. And remember, WWE is fairly new to doing these scrums. So I'm giving them the
Yes.
benefit of the doubt and getting better on who they give the mics to, who's there, who's not there.
Yeah.
But I think on the first one that I went to, I think I was the only one, which is when Triple H said, hey, this woman has had her arm up and nobody giving her a
Yeah.
mic. Now on this one, there was quite a few, and it made me very, very happy to see it grow. They should be,
Yeah.
but I love my opportunities that I get, but the ratio to women to men asking questions is still ridiculous. Even though there is more women in the room, you still get two
Yeah.
women question to like 12 guys. So I mean, we still
Yeah.
gotta work on that.
No, it's very noticeable when you're watching. But
Hmm.
so many fun topics to talk about today.
Yeah.
Some people we've talked about before, some new people. Um, and I figured this is a great way to start because it's the latest news to come out. Um, First off, have you watched Stranger Things? Are you a fan of Stranger Things?
I watched the first season. I thought I got into it, but I never really went back to it. Now I feel like if I get back into it, I have to watch the first season again because it's been so long. But I do
Yeah.
remember enjoying the first season. I do. I had a lot more time then than I do now. So
Yeah. I feel the exact same way you do. I watched the first 2 seasons religiously. I loved it. And then I think because the breaks in between the seasons were so long, I just kind of like fell off and forgot about it. And I never picked
yeah,
up watching when season 3 came out and it just pushed me back. And then I just never went back to it.
there's something about that wait time of releasing the
Yes.
seasons that's so important to me because I can watch without having to like the recap that they do in the beginning is good enough for me. Obviously,
Yep.
sheep plug. I have a podcast about Yellow Jackets, the TV show. I was getting concerned because they waited a whole over a year for this second season to come out, and I was like, if they don't do this now, people are gonna lose interest. Like even me and Glenn, my
Yeah.
co-hosts, they were like, the podcast is gonna die because we did a few interviews and we aired them spaced out throughout the last year, to kind of like have something to come out. But we were like, and we had good momentum. We were flex on you, but we were mentioned by Variety as one of the best TV podcasts because of how we covered the
No.
show. So I was like, the podcast is gonna die if these people don't hurry up and release. And they did. And I'm hoping that they don't make us wait that long because now that they're renewed for like 2 more seasons. I'm hoping that they move faster. But I really do think that a show could be very good. And if you don't know how to time out the releases, it could really, really hurt your viewership, because that's what turned me off from Stranger Things. But I did like it. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I just don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, and like with Stranger Things and a lot of Netflix shows, they space it out like over a year, maybe sometimes even longer than that span, where you end up almost forgetting about the show, and it's a lot.
The other thing that Netflix is doing right now, and I love my trashy reality TV, but they have shows like Love Is Blind, for example. Like I love Love Is Blind, but like you're watching couples, like the one that's currently airing. These couples got married in May of 2022. There's so many spoilers out because they've been out like with whatever, whether they ended up married, whether they're with somebody else. It's been a year. They're not gonna hide for a year until the show airs. So Love Is Blind has a very bad like habit of like taping them and waiting forever to release these seasons, to the point that everybody knows who these people are and what they're up to today. So why are you gonna watch the whole season when I can tell you already who got married, who didn't, who's still together, and who isn't? Like just edit that shit faster. Netflix, you got the money. Edit these shows faster.
See, I like what they did with You, where it was, I mean, granted, that was like a couple weeks or months in between, but I think it should be at least 6 months or no more than 6 months in between. Like release half the season and then do the other half. So at least it's spaced out.
Or have something like a behind the scenes or a documentary, or hey, we're filming season 2. Here's what we're doing. Like something to keep the buzz going, because it can really kill momentum. And it did that for me. And it's been so long that now I see so many people really getting into Stranger Things. And I'm like, if I was to get into it, I would have to go back and completely rewatch. And I don't know that I just want to do that. So I just haven't gotten back into it.
Yeah, well, the reason I asked about if you watch Stranger Things or not, but Millie Bobby Brown went to town. It could be a whole freaking riddle. Millie Bobby Brown, 19 years old, one of the featured stars on Stranger Things, just got engaged to her boyfriend Jake. I honestly thought it was Jake Bon Jovi. It's not Jake Bon Jovi. I think it's actually not even be said like that, because that's how it's spelled. But not Bon Jovi, like the artist,
like
bon
the
Jovi.
rocker. Okay.
Yes, not related to him, but it's spelled different, but the same thing. They got engaged.
Singing. I'm internally singing "Living on a Prayer." You lost me already. Yep. Keep going.
She just got engaged. 19 years old. For me, oh wait, is it? Hold on. Let's see.
Okay.
He is the singer, or it is the son of John Bon Jovi.
I knew it. Okay.
But it's spelt differently. You know what it is? This article wrote his name wrong.
Oh wow! I'm googling.
It's Jake Bon Jovi. It's gotta be Bon Jovi's son.
He has to. Let me look. I'm looking it up right now. Jacob Hurley Bon Jovi. No, it is spelled. Okay, so the last name should be spelled Bongiovi.
Yes, and then in the article it says Jake, the son of John Bon Jovi, but Bon Jovi is spelled differently.
Yeah, because he has it spelled differently, like as his artist name.
Got it. Okay, so it's more of a stage name.
So the Bon Jovi is a state name, but their name is Bon Jovi. It's just spelled like the right name to spell it is complete. I never knew that. We just learned something. I always thought it was actually Bon Jovi. Oh my god, I love learning.
That's what I thought too. And living in Jersey most of my life, you would think that I would know that, but
he's like a staple of New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah. Him and Springsteen. I think John Albert would love to have a conversation about this. Yeah, so she just got engaged, 19 years old. And the reason why I asked, not only because it's news, but I think it's a topic to talk about. Do you think 19 years old is young to get married? Like what do you believe is the appropriate age to be married?
Obviously after it's legal, but I think everybody can make the choice for themselves and they know what's good for them, right? I I am very close to my oldest nephew, very, very close to my oldest nephew. And I believe he got engaged around 19 or 20. She was 19. One of them was 19 when they got engaged. And I remember thinking like, wow, isn't this too young? And then at the same time, I'm sitting here having this thought of like, well, I also, sorry for my language, I don't want him being a man whore. So if he found the one right now, like, please lock him up and put him away. Because obviously I'm thinking like an auntie mom. I'm like, he's handsome. I don't want him whoring around. If he can settle down now, I'll be very happy. A lot less stress, right? But so I have a lot of friends that have done the getting married and having the kids later on. And the one thing that I find is like, it is exhausting. Like once you hit a certain age, you're exhausted to even take care of yourself, let alone run after a toddler, right? And my nephew is going to turn 25, I believe now. Like they've been married a while. It's going great. Adore them. Couples goals. But the one thing that I love is that you see them run around and have all of this energy to keep up with their little girl. By the way, TMI, sorry, Christian, but he got snapped. They're deciding on just one. And I love to be able to see them like have the energy to keep up with a 2-year-old because it is a lot harder than what people think. So when I look at their relationship, are we like, do we not have enough faith on young people? Because my train of thought was like, do they have it figured out? They probably don't. They're too young to have all this, but they do, and they're doing great. So it's just like, I feel like people need to let people make their decisions and their mistakes. And I never want marriage to be taken lightly, but worst case scenario, you get divorced. Like it's really not, you're not making a decision we're gonna die if you don't go, like if something goes wrong. But I think that people need to look at it per individual case because I'm guilty of thinking they're not gonna have this figured out. And I see them now and I'm like, okay, they shut me up. They're doing great and I think they have an incredible life and they're very happy.
I always saw, and this is me personally, I always saw myself getting married sometime after 25 and before getting married and having at least one kid. After 25, but before 35.
I like that. You see, I never been big on marriage. It's not something that I ever had in my bucket list. Like, oh, I need to get married. I need to have kids, right? I was more of a career person. So like, when I was 19, my bucket list was like, I need to get out of Puerto Rico. I need to get another degree. I want to get a job. I want to move to New York. So I've always been wired differently. So, but the way that I see it is because it's not for me. Doesn't mean that I can judge them when you want to do it or when they want to do it. If you think 19 is good for you, then go for it. If you think, like back in the day, my parents got married, they're divorced, but they got married, I think at like 20. Like that was a very normal age to get married back in the day. And I've seen couples. My grandparents got married around that age too. And guess what? They both made their rest in peace, but they stayed together their whole freaking life. So it's like, how do you figure it out? I don't think I am a lot older than most people, and I still can't figure out love. So there is not an age for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My parents, they had me. My mom was 19. My dad was 20 when they had me, and they got married. I was like two or three at their wedding. And
they're still together.
Still together. Stronger than ever.
Look, listen to the age. It has nothing to do. Age, the best thing about it is we say a lot of times age ain't nothing but a number, right? Like we said, if you're dating somebody younger, somebody older, or if you're doing these things, or you're taking a sexy picture and you're a woman over 30, like it doesn't matter, right? But when it comes to marriage, then you get judged. No. We should have the same energy around age for every decision as long as it's legal and you're old enough to do the decision that you're trying to go through with it.
Yeah. And you know what I found interesting too, and I actually had a conversation with somebody about this too. I always found when I have these conversations that it's always the men who prefer to get married like, around 30. And it's always the women who want it younger, in their 20s, even like 20, 21, I've heard people say. And I was always wondering, what is that? And someone told me, a female, by the way, told me it's because women tend to think they want to get married and have kids younger because they're more on a time clock with children than men.
Correct.
How do you feel about that?
I agree with that. But it depends on what kind of goal a woman have, because I think if you want to be a mom, you can adopt. There's a lot of options, you shouldn't
100%.
But I personally think that if I had that mentality, it would be like there's a double standard with the way that we age. And I personally think that men start getting hot after 30, legit. And I think that women are looked at differently, which we shouldn't. I think there's a mature woman is the hottest thing in the world. You don't have to worry about nothing. You're gonna be well taken care of, right? But the women will probably have a standard. They're not only you're on a time clock to have babies, you're also on a time clock to at some age. Men are not gonna find you attractive anymore because men are wired to after a woman hits a certain age, and I'm sorry, but it's true. They're not gonna find you as hot as the 20-year-old. So the 20-year-old might get the ring before a 30-year-old woman, and that's just a reality. Where a man, you're gonna get your proposal is gonna get accepted regardless of what age you get down on one knee.
Yeah. No, I think it's hold on, what happened here? Yeah, it's a definitely an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I like
having
these deep, yes, because I don't think there's one right answer. I think it's like you said, it's subjective to each individual.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always saw myself.
Samantha in the chat just pointed out that Hillary Swank just had twins at 48.
I saw that.
Props to her, but what is she gonna do when she's picking up these kids at high school and people say your grandma's here? Oh no, that's my mom. You know, she's gonna be 60 when they're like, oh no.
Yeah, my aunt actually, when my aunt had her second kid, she was I believe in her 40s, and she was terrified because she said to us, like, when he goes to college, I'm gonna be like 67, like
yeah,
you know, and it's scary for some people, which I understand.
It is.
But and then also too, she told me like the patience level, like as you get older, you kind of lose the patience to be like
I told you, it's like there is no way. Sometimes I can't keep up with my dog, and I see like I just when I was flying back from LA, I ended up hitting a huge delay in Orlando, and that's where my nephew and his family lives now. So I was like, hey, if I'm gonna be in the airport for the next 12 hours, I'm gonna come see you guys, right? Yeah. And I remember getting in the plane after I got done spending the day with them and like falling asleep. And I didn't even have to chase after little Amari that much, but we played, right? We were together all day, and I was like, I can't imagine doing that all day. And I understand my best friend, for example, she's a single mom. And I think it's really funny because I know that there's no texting her after 10. There is, but she's not going to see her until the morning because she's already passed out because she runs around, wakes up early with her daughter. I'm like, it's a lot of energy that I don't feel like I have right now. But I also, like, I never had that maternal. I think marriage I was more open to, still am, but kids is a screw that I don't think I came with, you know. Like I'm like it's never been my thing. Like, but I did always thought if I was ever like gave it a thought, I always said before 30, and I would always have one. So as soon as I hit 30, I didn't have any. I was like, yeah, no kids for me. Like I made that decision right then and there because I wanted to have the energy and the but. At the same time, when you're older, you're better, you're more financially stable, you're more mature, you're more grown up, and I feel like I can give better advice to a kid now than I could in my 20s if I would have had a kid in my 20s. So, you know?
I remember when I was so young and I would say like, oh, I want to be married with kids by 25, but before 30. And I would hear my parents like laugh and like, yeah, wait till you see, like, wait till you get there. And now I'm 30 and I'm like, you know, being a dog dad sounds really nice. Like,
and you know what the worst part is? Once you, and I don't know if you go through this, but once you live alone and you get used to it, then it becomes very hard to want to give it up. It's like, I don't want to give all this up. Like, you got to be very special because I like my routine. I like my, you know, it's so odd. But it's like, I don't know that I want to give this up for just anybody. Like,
you gotta share this with somebody?
No, let's just get apartments in the same building so we can see each other, but we still.
How great is that? How great would that be?
If I ever get a relationship again, it would be the weirdest because that would literally be me. Like, hey, there's an apartment 3 floors down, so come take it.
We've talked about this on the show before. I think people having like a husband and wife or whatever it is, whatever the situation.
With their own space,
separate rooms in the house. And have a common area.
Even there's something better that if you get mad at each other, you can send them to their own place and we'll deal with it when I'm over it, you know.
Now
I'm in a bad mood. Don't show up now.
now I understand the idea of like she sheds and all those type of things. Like this is where people go just to get away.
Yeah,
but
it's not a bad concept.
No, it's not. I think this is a good transition. We're talking about kids and babies to kind of transition into another topic regarding kids and babies. Someone that he's almost becoming a staple on this show. I've said previously that one day he will have his own race. Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon coming out and saying, honestly, at this point, this guy is just saying the most bizarre things.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be going through something because the things that are coming out of this guy's mouth.
I don't think he's going through anything. I think he's a marketing genius. You called me that earlier. I think he just figures out what to say to stay in the headlines so that you remember, oh, yeah, Nick Cannon still. How many kids does he have now? You know, because he always pops up here and there. And it always happens when you feel like you haven't heard from him in a certain period of time. You know? Yeah. He's smart.
Look at it like this. He has himself as many kids or almost the same number as all of the Kardashian kids.
Yeah. he's got great aim.
And speaking of aim, he's trying to go after another one. He's all in on this idea. He wants to have a 13th baby with Taylor Swift.
Wow, what a flex! I mean, you got two with Mariah Carey, then you get Taylor Swift. I mean, that's good for that would be great for him. I don't think Taylor Swift is about that life though.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. You know, she recently, and it's funny because I was actually having a conversation with my mom the other day, and I told her, I said, it's funny because there were rumors that Taylor Swift was already married to this guy with her.
The one that she just broke off to?
Yes. There was rumors that they were secretly married. There were signs from the tour that she's on that people were saying, oh, she's married, whatever. And then the news reports that, oh, potentially married. Now the news comes out that they just broke up after 6 years. Like, how
he ain't getting married. He ain't getting married.
And then I started thinking, like, if you're someone in Taylor Swift's position, it must be really hard to, one, find love, but two, find someone who's committed to that lifestyle. That's what I think a lot of these, we've talked about this with Kim Kardashian before. Like, it must be very hard.
You'd be surprised. Like, even if you're not famous, you'll be with someone and you're in a position where you feel like we have a mate and people will still manage to screw something up. That's just how life is.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've done the legwork.
But how would you feel if Taylor Swift was pregnant with Nick Cannon?
With Nick Cannon's baby, I will assume the world is ending as soon as the news come out. Like, I'm like, is this a hoax or the apocalypse is coming? Like, I just don't see that happening.
Well, listen, I had that same thought when Mariah Carey announced that she was having a baby with Nick Cannon. I didn't.
I think they make more sense. I just feel like I don't see Taylor Swift ever like tying it down because what if? Okay, hear me out. You know what was the name of that story that the guy they cut his hair and he lost all of his strength? What you know what I'm talking about? Okay, there's a biblical story. Yeah. I feel like Taylor Swift music superpower is dating around because a lot of her songs are about her breakups and her love life. So if she locks it down and ties down with one guy, how are we gonna get good songs? We're not. I don't know. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but I know the power of Taylor Swift, right? So it's like I feel like she will lose her power to make good music if she just like stays with one guy forever and gets married. I heard, I know this sounds horrible, but I heard about the breakup. It showed up on my timeline, and I was like, oh, let's get ready for some good petty songs. Like Miley Cyrus Flowers. Yeah, it's going to have some competition coming up, you know? Because I remember, like, people would date Taylor Swift, and then they'll be petrified because her music will come out, and we would all be trying to figure out what she's singing about.
They all go into like hiding, like Jake Gyllenhaal, John Mayer,
Taylor Lautner, like she does it
Harry Styles,
she wrote songs about them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
I feel like Taylor Swift's superpower is dating around, and listen, props to her.
Yeah, she's one of those people.
And I also don't see her having kids right now. I mean, she's literally on a sold-out stadium tour.
Yeah.
You really think Nick Cannon, that's what she wants to do right now? I doubt it.
She's on a sold-out stadium tour,
Mm-hmm.
covering all her music. She's pretty young.
Badass show, by the way. She's 30-something. We looked it up before.
Yeah.
But I've seen some clips, not even a Taylor Swift fan, but the production value, the outfits, everything about the things that I see showing up on my timelines looks on point.
Yeah. And she's pretty young too. I think she's like 34. We talked about on the show before.
Yeah.
34, 35, something like that. So she's still got a long, road ahead of her, what she's doing. But another thing that she's doing is she's making jeans sell out. This is this to me is one of those weird topics that I'm just like, huh. I guess the power of her status is really showing. So what I mean by that is that her first, they're calling it her after post breakup outing. So her first outing, broken up. She's wearing these jeans. Taylor Swift's fan base, the Swifties or whatever they're called, they like to like a lot of other fan bases too. They invest themselves into finding the little details, because Taylor's been known to plant seeds and little things that she does in her music and her album covers, and it all means something. So fans are always doing that with her. She goes out, her first outing, broken up, wears these jeans. The freaking jeans sell out online. You were telling me from the article, $600 jeans.
$673 jeans.
$673. It's like a bedazzled jeans with like bedazzled butterfly.
It's such a mom jean. Like it's not it.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a 90s like jeans that like moms would wear.
Right. It's an ugly jean. I wouldn't like. I'm not cheap, but I would not pay for those jeans. No way. That they gave me Forever 21 vibes when I saw them.
Yeah, they do. I'm looking at the article now. They show the picture. They do look like they don't look like anything special, but again,
they're
these
ugly.
Swifties.
Say it.
They're ugly. But Taylor Swift also has a unique style too. I feel like she gives off like professional cat lady. Right?
Yes, she does. But every once in a while, she'll do something where she's just slaying, and then like next thing you know, she's
usually like an award show or something.
Right, and then she'll just look super basic when you see her like walking around. And I just think it's really funny because I tell people, like, me personally, I'm either glammed up or I look homeless. Like, I don't have a happy medium. And I think that Taylor Swift found that really good happy medium where you look put together no matter what, but it's just not my style. I don't like the jeans. I wouldn't pay $600. And I guarantee you this company is super happy that the Swifties found it. But that just shows the level of commitment of this fan base, because we're talking very expensive gyms and they sold them out immediately when they saw them on her. It's really funny because I follow a page on Instagram, like, sorry to interrupt, but I follow a page on Instagram and it's like they post what the girls in wrestling wear, because I think a lot of them have really good fashion sense. So I'm like, I want to know where they got this from. So I get where this fan base is coming from, because I've done it and I've ordered a few things like inspired by some of the things that I've seen the girls in WWE wear, the women in the female division and all that.
I remember when I was in high school, it was when Justin Bieber first broke out. And the style that Justin Bieber had was like that skater kind of look. Yeah. And it was around the time that was all coming back for like the younger guys. And I remember everybody like would wear the purple hoodies.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Like purple hoodies, the Bieber flow hair everyone was wearing. Like
I never liked the hair. I never liked the hair.
I'll admit I tried to grow out my hair at that time. Not for that though. Just I tried to grow it out because I had longer hair when I was little. And it just wasn't working.
Oh,
it wasn't working.
Joey, do you have pictures of this? Please send them to me.
I don't think I do. You know what happened? My hair would get to a certain length where it would get like annoying and like look, that awkward stage in between.
Yeah.
I always got there and I would just like cut it off. I was just over it. I never let it like.
I never like that period of time, and I know the kids that were dressing that way were not anything that I care about, but I was like, man, when I was in school, kids didn't wear this. But everybody has that era. Everybody has like what they were wearing when you were like, you know, fashionable or whatever. But listen, good for Taylor Swift for wearing her jeans. I'm more of a shoe person. If I gotta tell you where I spend my money, it's on shoes. I have we're not gonna talk about it. I spend a lot of money on shoes, and I shouldn't. That's all. So maybe she's a jean person. You never know, right? There's girls that are purse people. Like everybody has a thing that we don't mind dropping money on because it's our thing.
Yeah. Exactly. See, like I'm not the type of person to drop $600, almost $700 on a pair of jeans or a shirt. But then again, I'll drop like $300 on a WWE replica.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We all have our thing.
I'm a 30-year-old grown-ass man, and I'm like, I will buy a wrestling belt.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just the same way that I am with red bottom shoes, okay? Like, if they have a red bottom, I'm like, here's my credit card. Take it. So
people tell me, like, you never buy yourself anything nice. I'm like, I don't really see like, a shirt, pants for $600. Like, shoes, I would probably spend more. I spend more money on shoes than I do on my clothes.
It depends.
Or like accessories, like a nice wallet or a watch, like things like that.
Right.
But jeans, like you
grow
out of them.
Jeans out there. Right. If you buy that generic jean, everybody has that one pair of jeans that last you forever. They're a good quality. Mine are Express. Express jeans, they're not cheap, they're not expensive, but they're very good quality. And as long as you don't gain a pound, they'll last you forever. I have a pair of Express jeans in my closet that I've had for like 6 years. But and I like them, and they're very generic, but that's the thing, because they don't go out of style. They don't have like a weird wash or a weird rip that you're not gonna have in style later on. But I'm not a jean person. I'm a dress person. I'm a skirt person. Like, you always notice that with me. Like, I'm always there. I'm very girly. The issue that I have is that there's certain outfits or certain occasions that I don't like repeating those outfits for. So it's like I go and I'll spend a lot of money, and then I'm like, what do I do with this dress? Because I'm not planning on wearing it. Right now, we were just talking about her. Shout out to her again, my nephew's wife. She's the same size that I am. So every time they visit Puerto Rico, she literally brings an empty luggage to take all the stuff I don't want. She's like, you're my shopping trip. And I'm like, I'm glad.
Oh, man, that's awesome. No, yeah, I'm very simple. Like, maybe people will not like this, but I've been buying my pants, jeans, pants, whatever, at H&M for the longest time now.
I don't shop at H&M. I don't like it. At least for the women, I don't like it.
They're pretty cheap, and they last forever.
I'm an Express girl. Girl.
Express too. I don't know. I'm very particular with like the pants, because I don't like them too tight. I don't like them too baggy. I don't know. I'm very like.
I will say I just bought some shorts from White House Black Market. It's not cheap, but I don't find them. It's not designer, right? Like, we're not talking $600 jeans, but I don't find White House like cheap either. But these are, I can already tell they're gonna be my favorite shorts, and I'm like, okay, I'm never buying shorts anywhere else. But they're like, I put them on, they fit like a glove. They're that good quality, and I never bought shorts from them before. My sister did, and I liked them, so that's why I checked them out, and I was like. It was like because I live in Puerto Rico, jean shorts are a staple all year long here. You gotta have a couple of good ones in your closet, and I bought those, and I was like, oh my god, at least I found my shorts store, because the right pair of shorts can go with any shirt, with any high heels, and with any flats. Like, oh my god, the things you can do with a good pair of shorts, the sky's the limit when it comes to styling that.
Speaking of shorts, very very funny weird thing. So today here in the New York, New Jersey area, it's almost 80 degrees today. It's sunny, and it's
100 here.
It's like almost 80 degrees here. I walked earlier for lunch, walked up the block, got tacos, Taco Tuesday. That's my thing. Give you a free taco. Love it.
Nice.
Today's the first day I wore shorts in like over a year.
Oh my god, did your legs glow in the...
It felt weird. I was like, that's what my legs look like? Like, I forgot. They were paler than I am, and I'm like a nightlight. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do you have a balcony?
I don't. I have big windows. I have like almost like 84-inch windows in my apartment.
Oh yeah, so you have like
And
the floor. I have floor to ceiling too in my apartment. The one that was close to you, I have very good windows.
yeah. And I have like a fire escape that's almost the size of a balcony. I'm technically not allowed to use it, but I
Yeah.
can. But that's pretty much that's the closest I have to a balcony.
Well, we just need to
Yeah.
just let your legs get a little bit of color, and it'll happen. Like now, the nice weather is here, so you get color.
Now the nice
It's really
weather is here.
funny though, because I didn't notice how much lighter I would get over there until now that I'm here, and I always got like the permanent tan now because it doesn't go away. Where over there, yeah, in the summer I would get darker and I would look like this, but then there was 6 months that it would all go away. I'm like, here, I got my skin color to stay all year long. I love it.
I
And I'm
never
not
had
even
it.
trying. Like I go
I
to the
never
beach
had
like
it.
what, twice?
The only way I get it is if I put a filter on my face.
Do you get red?
I get lobster red. Remember the Amanda Bynes show
Oh.
or all
Yeah.
that? They say bring in the dancing lobsters.
Yeah.
That's my cue. I get
Oh.
sunburned. Like one time I got sun poisoning. Like I got so burnt that I was
Oh.
sick.
Yeah, that's the worst.
But now that the weather's nice here, I'm planning a trip to Florida, so that makes sense.
Hey. Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah. But the last topic we have here for today, kind of interesting because obviously it involves the queen of the show. Besides you, you're the queen of the show. She's the princess. Kim Kardashian.
Thank you. Ooh.
Kardashian Corner. She will be acting now, I guess. Part of American Horror Story.
Yeah. Yep, and she's nervous about it. I read a report that she's actually quite nervous about it, and it's like, oh yeah, because it actually requires a talent. But I'm sorry, that was mean. I think Kim is very talented. We talked about how much we like her now, but I don't blame her for being nervous. Like I think these women have been very good at creating an empire around their brand and what they do. But this is a test, and this is a show that I love. American Horror Story. This is a show that's watched by a lot of people. I feel like it's not reality; it's scripted. And are you gonna be able to help to make us forget that you're Kim Kardashian playing a character and make us believe in the character that you like? I'm very invested into how this is gonna go for her. But yeah, she's gonna be in the next season of American Horror Story,
along with Emma Roberts as well.
Yep.
Both of them will be on there. See, I watched, I don't know if you saw Kim Kardashian last year, or I don't know how long ago. She hosted SNL, so she was in the skits. That's where she met
did great.
Pete Davidson. She did great, but I wasn't like set on the idea like her being an actress. I was like, whatever.
Right.
Like, yeah. But I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. I think that her star power can really bring more eyes to that show. I just hope that she doesn't hurt her image in any way, like where it's not like she does a horrible job and like people are like, oh, she can never act.
The good thing about it is that I don't find American Horror Story to be as mainstream as like season 1 or 2 were.
Yeah,
I feel like if she doesn't do good, I think it's not gonna be anything that lingers. Like I think it's gonna be like, wow, Kim Kardashian sucked, and we'll move right on. Like that's how I feel like that's gonna go. I think it's a great starting point actually, because I think it's big enough that you're not doing something that nobody's gonna see, but at the same time, I don't find it as popular as it once was. I think just around season 5 is when I like it, but that's when I started thinking like, what are we doing here?
But also,
but I am so excited for it.
Also, too, the same thing we kind of turn around back to the Netflix thing. I think that's part of it too. They waited too long in between the seasons, and people just loses the momentum.
I thought we talked about this. I'm a big horror movie fan. So I remember when this show came out, how captivated I was immediately, because now there's a lot of horror TV shows, right? And like sci-fi and psychological thrillers. I feel like when American Horror Story first came out, they weren't doing what American Horror Story did. That first season was intense. And then I remember the second season came out right away. then the third season, and then all of a sudden it started like slowing down and dragging on. And I remember at one point not even knowing if there was going to be another season or not because they were taking so long. They saved it for me. I think it was just around season 5. I don't know if you watched the show, but they did that episode Devil's Night, and it was like
there was one with Lady Gaga too, I think.
The what?
She was in Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga was in it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the one that I'm talking about is my favorite episode of all time, and it's like when they get all of these serial killers, like notorious serial killers, and they all have a dinner in the Cecil Hotel. Like, oh my god, that episode is like mind blowing. If you know I sound psycho right now, but if you know your serial killer history, it was like an insane episode. They had like Dahmer was in there, like the Night Stalker, like the clown one, like, and the actors that played them were incredible. Are like the girl that was a serial killer, and then like the conversations that they're having, they made it so realistic, and it was like once a year we all come together and have this dinner, and they get victims for them to kill just for fun. Like, it was such an insane episode. Like, 10 out of 10, I suggest it to anybody that likes true crime and like serial killer stuff. Like, even if you don't watch American Horror Story, go watch that show, that episode. But that's my favorite episode of all time. I think season 6. Like after that season is when it started losing me a little bit.
There was a show on Netflix. I don't remember what it was called because I haven't seen it in a while, but it was like a horror show, and I think Miley Cyrus was on there. You know what show I'm talking about?
No.
It was like every
Netflix
season.
Netflix or Hulu?
It was on Netflix. Every episode was like a different story, and it was like this technically like a horror series.
I don't
and
know,
there was
but I need to find it.
Yeah, I had to find it and get the name. There was one with Miley Cyrus, and it was really, really popular for a while. Like, everyone was talking about this show a couple of years back, 5 years ago or so. I don't really remember the name.
I'm gonna Google it. I'll Google it.
But now that I'm thinking about it too, like, I'm surprised that it took this long for a Kardashian to be an actress. Any of them.
I think she's done other things. Kim has. Nothing that has gone crazy, but yeah. She's acting in other things if I'm not going crazy. Black Mirror is the name.
Black Mirror. That's it. Black Mirror. That was a popular show on Netflix.
I need to check it out. I actually never watched that one.
Yeah, every episode was like a different story or season. I don't know.
I love that.
Very weird. Black Mirror.
Did you ever watch Scream, by the way? Did you ever watch the new Scream?
I haven't
Wow,
yet.
I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed right now.
I haven't yet.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. I meant to watch it the night you sent it to me, and then I started watching. I think I watched NXT that night because it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I just like left my mind, and until now.
Fine, that's fine. You can probably find a better stream than what I sent you, anyways. Because when I sent it to you, it was out like right away. So it's like the movie theater.
Well, it's probably coming out soon.
Yeah.
It'll probably be out on Paramount Plus soon anyway.
It made the most in like box office for a Scream franchise. It surpassed the 100 million mark. It did very well. It got really good reviews.
Good for them.
I think a handful of people torn, but I didn't think it was a bad movie at all. Like, people need to relax about it.
Have you?
I love how we just completely went off topic.
That's fine. It's part of the part of the authenticity of the show. That's what we do. We
just
tie celebrity stuff into life.
Yep.
Yeah. Any movies or TV shows you watch over the since we've last spoken?
Love is Blind. Love is Blind. These people are crazy. This season is trash. Like, I don't know. I feel like the first season of Love is Blind, because people didn't know the concept, it was more genuine. And now it's just like more dramatic, right? And like, these people are just like, you know what you're signing up for. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I don't know if I'm ready for marriage. The concept of the show is you propose to someone before you even see them. Like, you know, you're getting married at the end of this. But I have been super addicted to it. And I was telling you earlier how they filmed them in like really far ahead. So this Friday, the episodes of the weddings come out, so we know who got married and who didn't. But then for the first time ever in the history of the show, it's very popular, by the way, but Netflix is doing the reunion live, because they would tape the reunion also like a year ago. So you'll watch the reunion, and the next thing you know, these people are no longer together, or this happened.
Yeah.
No, for the first time, Netflix is doing the reunion live this Sunday. I can't watch it live, but that would be the first thing that I do it after I get back from a job that I'm doing here with a local wrestling company. But like, I am so excited. I have been into that. Still, Survivor is on, so you know I'm a big Survivor person. The challenge is on, so man, when I'm a big reality TV girl, and of course, my favorite show at the moment, Yellow Jackets, just came back. We're on episode 3. I've been doing the reviews. Yellow Jacket Buzz. Check it out if you guys are Yellow Jackets fan. Me and Glenn really break down the show, like literally scene by scene, right after it airs, and just give you our thoughts and conspiracies about it. It has gotten very good this season so far, so that's what I'm into right now.
I have been watching the show Succession. Everyone's talking about it. I started about a week ago.
Talking about it.
They just started the 4th season, and every season is about 10 episodes, and they're about an hour each. So it takes some time to watch.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch like an episode or 2 at night before I go to bed. Just slowly making my way. And it is such a great show.
Like, I heard that from everybody. I need to check it out.
It's very almost, I feel like it's on storyline with what's happening with the McMahon family in wrestling.
I know, I heard. That's why I keep hearing it.
An older dad who's the boss of this big media company, and the kid's gonna have to fight. They fight over who's gonna take over, and it's just a power struggle between the family members, and it's intense, it's interesting, and it's entertaining.
I need to check it out. There's too many people telling me that it's good, and I'm not listening.
HBO Max and Paramount Plus, I think, are my
Paramount
top
Plus is such an underrated streaming service.
It is.
Yep. I got it because Survivor airs live at the same time as Dynamite, and you know I review Dynamite with Wrestling Inc. and I do watch along, so I can watch it live. But I found out that Paramount puts it right at midnight, like right at midnight Eastern, they put it on. So I literally get done with the Wrestling Inc. podcast, and that's how much I love Survivor. I watch it right away. So that was my sole purpose. I was gonna pay for this no matter what because they have Survivor and Big Brother because I like Big Brother. Yeah. And next thing I know, I use this app a lot. Like they have a lot of really good content on there. I suggested to her, and it's still pretty affordable. They still haven't gone crazy with their price. So I really enjoy Paramount Plus. You can catch, for those people that like reality TV, you can catch the old seasons of Big Brother, Survivor. They have Amazing Race. They have all of the challenge, like the old MTV reality shows. If you want some nostalgia, they even have some Next Bus episodes. They have Room Raiders, like, and then they have original programming. They have movies. Like, I really am a big fan of Paramount Plus right now.
You know what I like watching on there? I love like old school rock and things like that. I love watching the MTV Unplugged episodes. All of them are on there. Amazing.
Yes.
I love watching Nirvana.
If you're a nostalgia kid for MTV, back when MTV was good before ridiculousness, Paramount Plus is for you. You're gonna find all of the shows that we used to love before. I don't know what happened to MTV, but the nostalgia factor is there 100%.
You know what I started watching when I was sick about a month or so ago, or even longer now. When I was sick, I found myself going down the rabbit hole on Paramount Plus, seeing what's on there. And because Paramount Plus has all the old Nickelodeon shows, I literally watched the whole first season of Rocket Power. I used to love that show growing up.
I haven't gone down that rabbit hole, but I tell you what,
Arnold, Rocket Power, Cat Dog.
All Survivor seasons, I've been a geek for that, and I watch every season of Survivor. But there's a few that I just remember fondly, but I never went back and rewatch. Man, I love having Paramount Plus because I do go back and rewatch those. And like I told you, the challenge is on there, the MTV challenge, and all of the side versions of it is on there because they made a lot of twists, like Global America Challenge and athletes versus stars and this and that. I just think. And I think people are really picking up on Paramount Plus, but I didn't think a lot of people talk about it enough. And I'm like, same with Peacock. I'm like, listen, I got Peacock for WWE, and it ended up being one of the best investments. I love Peacock. There's so many good stuff on there. Movies-wise, too, really, really good. The Halloween movies came out on there the same day they came out in the theater. Same deal, a trip to the movies.
Yep. And I think the new Scream movie might be. They do that with Paramount Plus.
Yeah, that's what and you can even have a home marathon because I watched all of them on Paramount Plus before I went and watched the new one. So you can even before it releases, if you want to run them back, you can like have a little marathon. At least the last one, because this is with the new cast. I will always suggest to people at least watch the last one so you know the new characters and who they are. But you know, I thought they did such a better job at making you feel attached to the new cast on this one. And I don't know if it's because Nip is not there, you know, like Sydney.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel connected to these new kids on the last one, right? On this one, I care about them. I was like, if something happens to them, I'm actually gonna feel bad because like I'm actually invested. The last one, I was just like, okay, it's a bunch of new people that I don't care about. Yeah. Sydney and Gail made it. I didn't feel that way on this one. I actually really started caring for these characters.
So basically,
character development is everything.
What we're getting at here now is basically if you are Paramount Plus, Netflix, Peacock, even Amazon, sponsor us. We talk about all your shows.
Yeah, and we're talking very positively about you. I have all of them at this point. The other day, my mom made me get the one that I didn't have yet, which was Disney Plus. I had it and I let it go because I'm not a Disney person, and I'm like, okay, I watch all my superhero movies. I don't need you anymore. But my mom really likes it, and they have the Spanish version of these movies, which is what she likes. So I was like, fine, I'll get it for you. So I was like, damn it, you made me sign up to the one that I was like, I saved money on by letting it go, and now my mom made me sign up for it again. But I don't use them. I haven't opened Hulu in forever. Like, it's such a waste of money sometimes. Like, sometimes I feel like I should cancel after I watch what I'm watching and just re-sign up the next time I open them for some of them. Yeah. Like Paramount Plus, I will keep Peacock. But there's some of them that I just open like once in a blue moon when I can't find anything else. Hulu is one of them. Hulu is not my go-to at all.
I think majority of people today have almost all of them, if not most.
They need to come out with a streaming service that has all of them. Like, you know how you have YouTube TV? YouTube TV needs to include all of these apps in like one payment. That will be so much easier.
Yep. I think because like my family and I, so there's 4 of us, my parents and my sister and I, and we all have the one that like we pay for, and everybody just kind of shares it. So like I have Peacock and something else, Peacock and Disney Plus. My sister has Hulu and this. My mom has Amazon.
That's good business.
Yeah. So everyone, we have all of them.
No, not me. I have all of them. And it's so funny because my nephews are always texting. Like if there's a WWE pay-per-view, they're like, TT, what's the Peacock password? And I literally am like, ask this other nephew. He knows because I know one of them have it. And my favorite thing is like they gotten so good because they alert you, and like sometimes they remember the password. Or I send a screenshot so that way they can find it if I don't respond, because I'm really bad at responding on my messages, as we all know. So like every once in a while I'll be checking my email and I'll see that like your Hulu account was accessing like here, because they're all my nephews are like all over the place right now. So I'm like, who in San Antonio, who in Virginia, Florida, somewhere, somebody's trying to access my account. And the sad thing is that I know it's somebody in my family. I'm not being hacked.
That's fun. You know, we all live in the same area, so you'd say, oh, it's New York, New Jersey, or Florida.
It's one of you.
No. But yeah, that's pretty much all the topics for today.
We did good.
This whole hour went by so fast. I don't know where it goes.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. But you know what? We didn't talk last week. We had a couple of interesting things. We went into our little side notes that we always talk about. That's what I love about this show. I think it's relatable and people. I don't know. I have ADHD. I can never have one conversation and stay on that same topic for longer than a certain amount of time.
All over the place, talking about other things.
But it's
we barely touched on wrestling today, so that's a new level.
And I just got back from WrestleMania, so I'm proud of us on that. Like we could have been talking about WrestleMania the whole time.
Yeah, all the stuff that's been happening with WWE and last night on Raw, and so many things. We managed to sail through the ocean of WWE.
We did great. I think also it's such a busy time WWE wise. Like for me, the trip, I got sick in LA. Like it's like I really just don't want to talk wrestling right now. Like I consume so much wrestling in the last like week and a half that it's just like It's nice to have a break. I still in a weird time zone too. Like the other night, I'm like still wired at like 1 a.m. because I'm still on that East Coast time. Like I'm like West Coast time. I'm like I need to wire myself back to normal.
Reconfigure yourself. Yep.
And then when I was in LA, I was waking up at like 4. Well, actually, that's kind of normal for me. I wake up at like 5, 6. You know when I wake up, you always get the DMs Tuesday morning with the topics. But in LA, I was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I'm like wired, and then I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah,
it's dark outside.
I wake up. Yeah, I'm like, this is what time I wake up at home. Like, what am I gonna do right now with my time? And I'll try to go back to sleep, and you're just laying there like,
No,
but then
I get
at like
it.
10 p.m., you're dying, you're dead tired. Like it's crazy. I kept asking people, I'm like, what time is it in the real world? Because this a late time zone is not it.
That's funny. What time is it in the real world? Anywhere else but here?
Literally.
Crazy. For everybody who's watching and listening and in the chat right now, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Know Your News channel. So many other great podcasts here as well. And you can also leave us a super chat. We love to engage with the chat. Every show, we're always going back and forth with the chat. And if you have any thoughts or ideas or even news topics, maybe that we didn't cover that you would like to hear us talk nonsense about, throw it in the chat, Know Your News chat, and let us know.
Tweet at us, tweet at Know Your News. Let us know what you're enjoying. If you like something, if you want us to talk about something, or interact in the chat. We see you guys. We see Samantha, Jerry Winters, Abraham, Joseph, Mike. We saw all of you guys in there today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and a huge shout out to Rob once again for the awesome thumbnails.
Oh my God, I died when I saw it. Died.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Some good thumbnails we've seen. I think this is one of my favorites so far.
Mm-hmm. It's all about the thumbnail on YouTube, though. We all know that. That's like 50% of the YouTube game is the thumbnail.
Yep. Yeah. Issa, always a pleasure. I'm so glad you're
Likewise,
back. And
Joey.
You're settled back down, kind of, sort of, back from your trip. I'm glad Roman
we're getting there.
Yeah.
Roman literally right now passed out. That experience at the groomer must have been so traumatizing for him that he is just out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a picture of him when we get done so you can see.
Yeah. So thank you again for always being you and helping me host this show. So much fun.
Of course.
Yeah. Mesmerized by the dog.
Yeah, I'm sending you the picture.
Everybody, thank you for listening and watching and always engaging with us. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.